Hey everybody, it's Derek from CodeOpinion.com, and this is Roundup 7, stuff that I found interesting this week. So I got, I think, 4 links to some various .NET related things, if you will. The first being, Damian Hickey has this post on ASP.NET Core nested applications. And I've been wanting to do this actually for a while, which was to be able to segregate separate apps with separate ASP.NET Startup classes, but host them under the same ASP.NET Core application. So, and then basically just route based on routing and paths, decide which app you're going to. So you can almost think of this as, it's just to me, a really simple way of segregating apps that you may even have in a single solution, but having one single web host for it. So this is pretty cool. Basically, it outlines how to do it. It's actually really straightforward. I'm glad that he posted this. So if you're thinking about doing something similar, check out this post. Next is Blazor-State. So I seen a post on Twitter mentioning this. Basically, it uses Mediator. If you're unfamiliar with it, check out CodeOpinion.com. I got a pile of posts related to Mediator. But it's basically using Mediator as a way with dealing with state inside a Blazor app and getting all the goodness of things like pipelines, etc., that come in with Mediator. So check out the link here. If you, on this site, if you go to the GitHub page, there is a sample that shows you how this actually works. Kind of the structure of the requests, the handlers, how it's all configured. So it's a pretty interesting idea. I'm really curious to see where Blazor just in general ends up and where things like state management end up, which I'm assuming might end up being something outside of Blazor specifically, something like this. So we'll see where this all goes with Blazor and state management. Third was this tweet that I seen that I had no idea about, which is that you can specify DebugType Embedded, which adds the PDBs directly to the DLL. And supposedly, the DLLs end up being much smaller than the DLL plus the PDB, what combined would be. So this is actually pretty interesting. You can actually, if you scroll down, somebody actually posted a screenshot too of, you can actually do this if you're using Visual Studio. You can also do this from the project properties and then the build tab. If you go to the advanced button, you can actually specify it here too. The debugging information, you can specify embedded, which ultimately just sets the this debug type embedded in your CS proj. So I thought that was really interesting. I had no idea about this. Lastly, Philip has a post on having filters, action filters, directly in your controllers. This makes a lot of sense to me, mainly because if you do have some very specific filters that are going to be used on controllers in a very specific way, they're coupled anyway. So having them separated, I'm not necessarily sure that it makes much sense. I'm much more for putting things together that are really coupled and really related. So be it if they're in the same class or if we're talking about features, etc. So he uses actually a really simple example here of kind of some validation related to whether an entity exists, like a record exists in this repository, and if not, wanting to return a not found. And that needed to happen between a get and a delete. And having a filter that was very specific to this controller, just being able to specify that filter within this controller. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's it. That's this week's Roundup. Check out CodeOpinion.com for more .NET related videos. Give this thing a thumbs up and please subscribe. Thanks.